So I visited my favourite salon, Darren Scott, who have partnered up with Philip Kingsley to present an event series based on information to do with different hair, and this one was about Afro hair. It was really informative, and I think it was an amazing event.
The purpose of this evening is to inform you about hair, beauty, health, and everything in between. My name is Hilary M. I first came to Darren Scott Salon a few years ago, and I was a mess. Actually, in my hair as well. Breakage, split ends, dryness, it was pretty much a nightmare. But with the combination of Philip Kingsley products and the genius that is Darren Scott, my hair was brought back to life. This evening is not only to provide information, but also to celebrate the fantastic collaboration.
But as you mentioned, I launched Nubian Skin this year. It launched in October, and it is a lingerie and hosiery line for women of colour. I think for a lot of people who don't have darker skin, if you need a nude bra to wear under a white t-shirt or a sheer top, or if you just want some tights, you know, to wear when the weather's cold, you can walk into a shop and just pick up, you know, a nude that will fit for you. But for a lot of black women, for a lot of Asian women, for just women of colour in general, that's not an option.
It gives me great pleasure to introduce Mr. Darren Scott.
Everyone here, apart from a few new faces, pretty much knows about me. I'm not gonna talk about myself. I hate talking about myself. But obviously you all know I do hair and makeup. Been doing that for over 15 years now. Set up the salon about 2.5 years ago, not as an Afro salon, but as a salon that can cater for everyone, not just black women, white women, all hair types. As you all know, I tour the world with certain celebrities. That takes me out of the salon, worked on the Olympics, and as James likes to say, what have you written there? Yeah, so basically I set up the salon 2.5 years ago, and it's just gone from strength to strength, and I'd like to thank the customers that are here tonight, some bloggers that are here. Rachy in particular, she's been very supportive. We've got Layla from No Scrunchy over there. We have Innie from, what's it, Ingie, sorry, from Mirror. And the out there support, I don't think we would have reached as far as we have today.
My name's Lisa, I'm from Philip Kingsley. I'm here tonight with Tanis, my colleague. We're both qualified trichologists, and we've been with Philip Kingsley for quite a long time. I've been with Philip for over 10 years now. And it is a huge pleasure to be invited to come here and talk tonight. And hopefully we can share lots of information with you and give you some advice and tips on how best to care for your hair. If you're not familiar with Philip Kingsley or who we are or where we are or what we do, Philip is probably the world's most famous trichologist. And I say probably because he probably would say he is definitely the world's most famous trichologist. He's been practicing for a long time, so for over 60 years he's been qualified. He really is the leading authority in hair and scalp care. He was the chairman of the Institute of Trichologists in his previous life. He is 83 now, so he's cracking on a bit, but he still works full time and he sees his patients in the clinic. We've got the clinic in Mayfair and we've got one over in New York, and we have teams of trichologists in each. And we see clients there, Philip sees clients at the clinic who have problems with hair loss, who have problems with scalp conditions, or who also have problems with damaged and breaking hair. So for a number of reasons, people would come to a trichologist and to a Philip Kingsley clinic. We really are dedicated to providing advice and help people with those kind of problems. So anybody who's got problematic hair, whether it's dull, dry, damaged, and we do have a really honest and ethical approach, and Philip Kingsley being part of the Institute of Trichologists means that we do have that approach with our clients, and there are lots of people and hair specialists out there who are happy to give advice for a great deal of money, and we're not always sure it's entirely ethical, but you can rest assured if you go to a Philip Kingsley clinic, you will have the advice that you pay for, and it will be a very honest, ethical approach with that as well. Philip obviously has had some very famous clients in his past, so from royalty, celebrities, but really most of Philip's clients are ordinary people like you and me, so anybody can knock on a 54 Green Street and go and get the best advice in the world for their hair care. You might have heard the phrase bad hair day, so Philip claims that that's his phrase. He coined the phrase bad hair day a long time ago. Nobody's going to steal it from him, so I'm sure we've followed one of those. And he is known as the hair guru and the hair wizard and the hair doctor, so he's pretty famous in his field. Okay, so just some facts about hair really, and you might be really familiar with some of these. Some of them kind of what we would think of as old wives' tales, but we kind of might dispel a few of those myths. So hair outside your scalp is dead. It's growing when it's inside the bulb, but as soon as it kind of grows past what you see as the surface of the scalp, the hair is pretty much dead. That's why it doesn't hurt or bleed when we cut it. There's no blood, there's no nerves, or there's no muscles in the actual hair shaft. That all goes on beneath the epidermis. So hair is predominantly made of protein and moisture. So protein is really important in your diet because it takes a lot of energy for your body to make hair. So your hair grows about ½ an inch a month. It really does take so much energy and so much nutrition and food to get the length of the hair growing. So it's made of about 85% protein. So protein's a really important constituent in your diet. The rest of it is moisture, and moisture is also super important in terms of hair health and how your hair looks and behaves. Moisture is in fact water. Protein is keratin, so it's keratin protein, and it's like what your nails are made of, so that's keratin protein. There are about 100 to 120,000 hairs on the scalp. African Caribbean has approximately 30% less than European hair, so lots of follicles going on in the scalp. Normal to shed about 100 hairs a day. That's quite generic because it's okay to shed 100 hairs a day if you're replacing 90% of those. So you're not kind of seeing any loss or drop in density of the hair. It's not okay to shed 100 hairs a day if your body's not producing that hair and you're not replacing those hairs. So although it's normal to shed hair, because we all go through cycles of hair growth and hair resting and hair shedding, in terms of losing hair, it's okay to see it if it's normal and if you're not noticing the difference on the scalp and in terms of density. But just some things to watch for: excessive hair shedding that doesn't look quite normal, and you're noticing a loss of density on the scalp as well. So hair uses a lot of energy to grow. Eating a well-balanced diet is really, really important, and it sounds a bit boring to say, oh, everybody should eat a well-balanced diet, but it really is. It takes so much energy. Your hair cells are the second fastest growing cells in the body. Your digestive system are the fastest growing cells. So second to digestion is your hair. So it takes a heck of a lot to keep going. So energy, food, intake, nutrition is really, really important when it comes to growing the best hair that you can and the best quality hair that you can. Curliness or straightness of your hair depends on the shape of the follicle. So with African Caribbean hair, the follicle is quite twisted, and that's why a twisted hair grows. But in that sense, where there's a twist in the hair shaft, it actually is quite flat, so it can become really vulnerable and really fragile. So it will break pretty easily, and that's because of the shape of the follicle. Disulfide bonds are one of the strongest naturally occurring bonds in nature, so they're the bonds that are in your hair and kind of keep it together, keep it intact. And these are just some cross sections of different hair shafts here. So we're looking at Caucasian hair, it's kind of an oval shape. This is Oriental hair, so poker straight, dead straight, there's nothing to get a bend and a wave in it. And African Caribbean hair, so it's oval, but it has an elliptical shape, it has a dip in it as well.
I'm not going to go through all of them, but basically everyone can just probably pick out a few there. There's so many things that some people will say are the reasons and rationale for this, that and the other, and it's, again, a load of nonsense. One that's on there which is quite interesting is Jamaican castor oil, because a lot of people use it and it just doesn't do what people think it does. It's a very thick oil, obviously, and it works in effect like mascara on eyes. So it gives you the illusion that your hair's growing faster and it's thickening up. It's not. It's a waste of time. And actually, if you're massaging it in regularly, what you'll probably find is you're actually rubbing away your hair and breaking your hair anyway. So to avoid certain things, if anyone wants that slide, then I'll send it for them after. But there's two, yeah. And just going back to what I was saying earlier regarding hair growth, hair will only grow at a certain rate anyway, regardless. So you've got an optimal level of hair growth, and if you are deficient in various different things, your hair may start growing slower, but it's never going to grow faster than the optimal rate. So when they're talking about hair growth and increasing the growth rate, they're not sort of saying that you're going to grow 6 inches in a day. You will be using it for something else. This is actually something which I sometimes get a bee in my bonnet regarding certain things, and this is, I haven't provided the name here. It's a relatively new brand who claim that these tablets increase hair growth. They claim all these different things, it's scientifically proven, etc, etc, etc. But there's no reference to the scientific studies or anything else. So again, when you're actually looking, when people are marketing, don't just be suckered into typical marketing speak. There's no reference to say to this scientific study. It's the Kardashians were over very recently promoting it, which again gives you an idea of the level of and probably what I'm referring to. And the only scientific study that I could see relating to this was actually on mice, and it didn't actually validate what they're saying. It basically says something completely different. So anyway, that's a load of spiel there, which again I'm not going to go into because I can't read half the words, but the point is that research properly and look into things, and don't just go, oh my gosh, Kim's taking it, therefore it must be amazing.
Means patchy hair loss. Alopecia is an umbrella name, an umbrella term for hair loss. It can be any kind of hair loss. So postpartum alopecia means alopecia after you've had a baby. And alopecia areata is alopecia in patches. So if you just hear the word alopecia, it can mean any type of hair loss basically.
What I love about this event was that it wasn't an event where you felt like all the information presented to you went over your head. It was very detailed, everything was black and white. There wasn't really anything that you could be confused about, and I love the way that they presented Afro hair in more of a positive light than a negative light, because some events I've been to, I feel like this always presented Afro hair in a negative light, whereas this event really just told you what hair is, what its structure is, and how you can prevent any damage or any problems in the future. And that's one thing that I really do appreciate with Philip Kingsley and Darren Scott coming together and doing an event like this, because I do think it is required with so much information out there on the internet that's just being recycled and regurgitated incorrectly, and this event really made you understand what is the facts and what are the rumors and the lies. So I really did enjoy this event. Myself have tried the elasticizer. I have done a review, I will leave the link down below. This is a pre-shampoo treatment which really works. I've used it at the salon myself with a steamer, and I've used it at home with a steamer and without, and it really leaves your hair soft, and I don't know what to describe it as, but your hair just feels like it's been reboosted. So I really enjoy that product. I'm really excited to try some more Philip Kingsley products. I do have the shampoo and conditioner, so I will be trying that, and I will do a review on those products in the future. But let me know, have you tried any Philip Kingsley products? Are you interested in trying them? What do you think about the brand? And I will speak to you soon. Bye.